Hey guys, Jester here. Today I'm going to be going over a second edition boxed set adventure called Dragon Mountain. Now, just from the get-go, love the artwork. This is a great piece. It also came with a full-sized poster. It was more like an advertisement poster, which I'll be showing you that as well later on because it's hanging on my wall. I've also got the second edition monster manual out because I'll be referencing that for a specific reason here shortly. So this is going to be kind of an unboxing as well as a review of the adventure itself. Of course, I've played it extensively, so it's not going to be like your normal unboxing. But the adventure came with 3 books. The first one gives you the same artwork as on the box cover and the poster. And then that's book 1. And the book 1 is the artist is Jacques. Unfortunately, I don't know his first name. These 2 covers were done by Larry Elmore. But the adventure comprises 3 books for 3 parts of the adventure. Now, it's Dragon Mountain is not specific to any setting. It can be placed anywhere. It doesn't even give you, if you want to play it in the Forgotten Realms or if you want to play it in Greyhawk or whatever, it doesn't even give you that. It's just its own thing. I personally, being that I play in Greyhawk all the time, I placed it in Greyhawk. In any case, it is basically this mountain that travels in time, so to speak, and it appears where it wants to appear, and so it's landed in this world wherever you as the DM decide to put it, and you go from there. So besides the 3 books here, the adventure books, you've got all of these full color poster maps of the cavern layout itself. So you've got 1, 2, 3 of those. Then you've got all these other maps that are included, plus little handouts, letters, messages, to so forth and so on, and things of that nature. Dwarven Burial Chamber. I like to think it's really similar to Lord of the Rings. And then you've got, oh yeah, you've got this great piece of artwork here. I love that. And then you've got more additions. Oh, and this is another map that you can cut up and hand out to your players in parts as they locate them. Same thing with this dragon amulet. You can cut it up as shown here in 3 parts. But then you also, some of my notes there, and more notes. You've got all these new monsters that you can add to your 3-ring binder of the Monstrous Compendium, which is real cool. We've got the, I don't know if I'm going to butcher the pronouncing of these things, but the Swise, it's like a tree root, Swise is like a tree root. got the stone snake. You've got the Rotim. It's like a monkey of some sort. Got a squeaker. A Noran, which is another type of tree root. An Ophidian, which is kind of like a reptile, snake type creature. You've got these bad boys here, the Kobolds of Dragon Mountain. We're going to get into that here a lot in a minute. You've got Gnasher and a winged Gnasher. You've got Fiend Waterlord and Living Steel. And you've got a Brain Spider and Dragonkin. So that makes up the list of monsters, new monsters, that is in this box set adventure. Alright, so getting all of that stuff out of the way. Oh, we've also got a full color map here of the village right below where the mountain pops in at. Two of the NPCs that the character is going to meet in the mountain, along with their stats on the back. And then you've got all of these miniature substitutes, I call them. They're basically little cutout cardboard things that pop onto a little base, like so, and you can use them as representations of where things are, as opposed to miniatures. Alright, so let's get all this back in here. Okay, so the module, like I said, starts off where the mountain just appears, and now all of a sudden you've got these kobolds coming out of the mountains and raiding nearby villages. And so your characters are supposed to help defend the village against the attack, and then chase the little buggers back up into the mountain. What they don't know is the dragon that will be awaiting them at the end of the adventure. But I mean, like I said, this is great artwork, and the even though the dragon is the boss fight, the dragon is not the what would you call it? He's not the, I can't even think of the word. He's not the not hero. Oh, my brain is farting on me right now. The kobolds are the shit. Let's put it that way. The dragon, I mean, it's named Dragon Mountain. The dragon's the boss. But the kobolds, they're really the boss. They took the creators of this took the weakest creatures, monsters in Dungeons and Dragons, and made them epic. I mean, this mountain is just swarming and overrun with organized kobolds that are in service to the dragon. Not just like your other types of Dungeons and Dragons adventures, at least in the AD&D world. Anytime you go into a big lair like this, even Temple of Elemental Evil, when you were going against the different 4 elemental cultists, they were all warring against each other internally. The same thing here. You got the kobolds. You got different tribes of the kobolds in the mountain, and they're vying for power against each other. So there was all kinds of inter-fighting and inter-warring going on. But it's some badass little dudes. I'm just telling you. They are what shines in this module. I mean, when you get done with playing this module, your players, I mean, yes, they're going to remember the dragon, because, it's what the title of the thing is about. It's what they face at the end, if they ever make it that far. But it's not the dragon they're going to remember, decades down the road. It's going to be these nasty little kobolds, because they will mess you up. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. So, yeah, I mean, not a whole lot else to say about the module. I mean, a little bit of artwork in it, the main bit of the artwork was the covers of the box and the 3 adventure booklets. And the maps were pretty cool. But the rest of this video, I'm going to talk to you about the boss fight and how 2nd edition dragons are much different than 1st edition dragons. Okay? So, that's why I've got my 2nd edition monster manual out here. So, in the adventure, in the giant adventure, against the giants, in the frost giant lair, you had a pair of mated white dragons, and in the fire giant lair, you had a ancient red dragon. Okay, so the way 1st edition dragons went is you have 8 age classifications of the dragons, and each age classification you get an extra hit point per die. So at the youngest age 1 class, you get 1 hit point per die, 1 hit per die per level, and the levels are based on the category of dragon. So let's say you've got my numbers may be incorrect because I'm just using an example off the top of my head, which may not even be correct, but just let's go with it. Let's say your white dragon, the age 1 category starts off with 5 hit dice. So you're going to, given that you got 1 hit point per 1 hit point per hit dice, then you're going to have, and they max it out, so you're going to have a 5 hit point dragon. Okay, let's say the ancient dragon, he's got 11 hit points, which he actually, or hit dice, 11 hit dice. So the ancient red dragon in the fire giant king's lair, he was an ancient dragon, category 8. He had, as a red dragon, he had 11 hit dice. So, and the way that 1st edition did it is all of the dragon colors, so let's say if you have a red dragon, they're going to have 11 hit dice no matter what age group they are. The difference in their hit points based on how old they are is the age category hit points per hit dice. So if you was a young red dragon, you would still have 11 hit dice, but you would only have 1 hit point per those 11 hit dice, so you'd have 11 hit points. Whereas the ancient red dragon has 8, category 8 has 8 hit points per hit dice. So at 11 hit dice, 11 times 8, that's 88. So he's going to have 88 hit points. And the dragons didn't vary in that at all. So very, very weird way of doing it, in my opinion. Second edition, I believe, was so much better in the way that they did dragons. But we're gonna get to that in a second here too. So, just to give you a representation here, and I'm gonna move my camera up here to the map so that you guys can see what's going on here. All right. So now, if you can, sorry. My overall map here is your standard grid of squares that are 5 feet representations. So this here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, but we'll go 30 for easy math. So that's 150 feet. Yeah, 150 feet. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we got 100 feet. So it's 100 by 150 is your map. And this is just a cutout of the main cavern that the boss dragon you're going to encounter in. Now, if this dragon in Dragon Mountain was a first edition red dragon, you've got, I don't own a large red dragon figure, so I had to use my green dragon, but let's just pretend this is a red dragon. A first edition red dragon, ancient, is going to be approximately that size right there. He is almost 50 feet in length, and it does not delineate between his body and his tail, so just the dragon itself is 48 feet. This right here is approximately, from tail to head, is 50 feet long, according to the map. So, your little fighter here is going to be up against an ancient dragon looking like that. Alright, so this is where it gets really absurd. Alright, so just keep that in mind right now. The second edition dragons, let me bring it back up here because I'm going to sit down and talk a little bit more before I show you the rest of it. The second edition dragons did things much different, and in my opinion is the way to do it. Okay, you still have age categories, but you have age categories 1 through 12 as opposed to 1 through 8. But the age categories do much more, and they're more versatile than first edition. You without going in depth into what all their powers are and everything, basically it breaks down each of their attacks. First edition didn't really. It just said this is a dragon. This is how old it is. This is how many points it does with a claw bite and with its breath weapon, and gave you how long the dragon was. Didn't really tell you how you were measuring that length, and that was it. Second edition was very detailed. It gave you the length of the dragon's body, overall body, and then a separate length for its tail. It gave you just a whole bunch of stuff, and instead of every dragon of a specific color having a set number of hit dice, the hit dice were varied depending on their age. So, for instance, a red dragon, its base hit dice, which the base is age category 4, which is a juvenile. So, a age 4 red dragon is going to have a 15 hit dice. 15 hit dice. So, a category 4 juvenile in 2nd edition already has 4 more hit dice than an ancient red dragon in 1st edition. Let that sink in for just a second. Okay? Then, so if you go to an ancient red dragon, the equivalent to that in 2nd edition is category 11. So, from 4 to 11, that's 7 more categories. However, the dragon in here, if you actually look at the stats, it's actually a great worm, which is the highest category, age 12. So this dragon has already 8 more hit dice than the standard dragon, the base dragon of category 4. 4 to 12, that's 8. So starting with 15 hit dice, you add 8 more to that. This dragon's got 23 hit dice. Now, it misprinted it in the book, and it only gave it 21 hit dice, but all the other stats in the monster manual shows that it is actually a 23 hit dice monster. But anyway, so a 23 hit dice, it's already 2 times plus 1 more than the 1st edition Red Dragon. That's not all. So this is what kills me here. In 2nd edition, the length or the size of a dragon also varies in its age category. That was another odd thing about 1st edition, is that 1st edition, no matter whether you was a hatchling or an ancient dragon, they were the same size dragons, which that was a very bad mistake or oversight, I believe, on the 1st edition creators of dragons, because that's just not realistic. 2nd edition did it correctly. But in any case, your little green dragon there, representation, in 2nd edition, that would be basically your 4 hit dice juvenile red dragon. An ancient dragon, including the one in Dragon Mountain, is 186, I believe it was, 186, something like that, feet long. Its tail, 168 feet long. Now, if you remember how big I said this was 150 feet. So that means the dragon, the ancient red dragon that they are going to encounter in this module. Let me back it up a bit. Yeah, let's see, here we go. Covers that entire map. The head is going to be here. The tail is going to be, or not the tail, his butt is going to be here, and that doesn't even include the length of his tail. That's just his body, from map to map. Think about that with the size of the figure there. That is your 2nd edition ancient dragon, ancient red dragon. All of the different types of dragons have different body lengths and sizes, and in each separate type category, all the age of that category also have different lengths and sizes, as they all should. But in any case, just try to fathom, if you are a player character, and this is your player character, and you're facing a dragon that is as big as this map. That's just insane, guys. Just insane. Now, remember I told you earlier, the the game gave you these little cutouts, and they gave you this cutout of the dragon that you're going to be facing. But the notes in the adventure book says that this cutout here is only supposed to represent the dragon's head. I'm sorry, guys. That still doesn't do the dragon justice. The dragon's head needs to be about 5 times bigger than this little piece of cardboard cutout if it's going to represent a dragon that is the entire length of this map. But in any case, so that is all I wanted to show you there. I'm going to take a quick picture at a couple other things here in a second, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, remember I told you that it came with a full-size map, kind of an advertisement. I'm going to turn this on its side, so try not to get dizzy when I do this. It's just to show you the entire thing in its full picture here. But that is the map. Hopefully you're on your phones when you're viewing this, so you can just turn your phone around as opposed to sitting at your computer. Otherwise, that's going to be a little bit hard to see it that way, but I'm sorry if that's the case. But that's the map that comes with it. Alright guys, well that wraps it up for this edition of Storytime with Jester. I hope you enjoyed my review of Dragon Mountain, the 2nd edition boxed set adventure. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get notifications of every time I post a video. Make sure you share with all your friends so they can view as well. And please leave comments in the comment section, because I do enjoy those thoroughly, and I will respond as quickly as possible. And until next time, and as always, see you soon.